Okay, y'all, good morning, Thursday morning. Zack's supposed to come out here and work for just a little bit. He ain't gonna work long. Well, because I'm caught up, and I really don't need him very long. If he does a good job and we can manufacture some more work over here, then you know, he'll be able to work longer. But I'm gonna put him on the new brush cutter, so I hope he got some rest, is all I can say. Because the new brush cutter is taxing. And that's the job today. So if he doesn't want to do that, and he can't do that or whatever, then I can't really use him out here today. So I wanted to show y'all something real quick to the guys, and a lot of guys that have been doing this a long time, y'all know all this stuff, or y'all probably do it to be at peak efficiency, right, in the lawn care. So if you got a Stihl weed eater and you don't have the auto feed or whatever, a lot of guys use the auto feed, you know, the Echo speed feed and that kind of contraption. And I have bought them over the years, and they do hold a little bit more strain, but they don't last very long the way we use them. You know, I buy these. These go with these are the Stihl. These things are about $8 each. And what I do is, when I'm, you know, to be efficient, is when I'm in the truck or, you know, knowing that I'm going to have a lot of weed eater strain going on, is I go on and I have a whole bunch of these, right? I have like, how many I got? I probably got 7 or 8 of these, and I buy, every time I go to the Stihl dealer, y'all see me go to the Stihl dealer, I buy one of these right here. And so, basically what I do is I have them, let me get it going here. I have these on standby all the time. And in the trailer, I probably got 20 of them probably, if you look in the trailer toolbox. So what happens is, when we run out of string, we don't have to restring the weed eater. This is ready to go. So, you know, but if you let these right here wear down, like this one, right? Y'all see the difference there. Look at all that plastic. And you see what happens. That's a sign that it's wore out. This is wore out. So what ends up happening, and this is for guys that are just, you know, that are just into this kind of thing. I know a lot of guys that have been doing this for a while. Y'all know this, or you should, if you run Stihl stuff. Well, what happens is, when you, and this is the plate that goes around it, so it goes on this like the weed eater, on the weed eater like this. But see, you ain't got no room to bump, right? So when you're just running across the driveway or whatever, then what ends up happening is you end up wearing this thing out, this piece, along the edges, and you can see, if you look real close, how this thing's fixing to come apart, right? Then what happens is, if this thing comes off of the weed eater because it loses its integrity, you know, like that, this piece right here, well, of course this is going to come off too. But the big thing is the eyes, what they call the eyes on the weed eater, they come off too. And then you got a problem, because the weed eater will not run right without the eyes. And those, the eyes are the metal things that the string goes through, right, to coming out of the weed eater head. It's just a quick tip. You see that, if you start seeing them triangles, you done got two, yeah. And pay attention, because you'll find yourself out on a job, and if you don't have none of this stuff available, I rarely throw them away. I'll go through the trailer once a month or so, and I'll throw all of them away. We do a lot of weed eating, y'all know that. Y'all see the properties that I do, but you see how one thing leads to another, So you go from, this is $8, right? I think this is about $11, okay? And the metal eyes, well, they're about $2 or $3. But if you don't manage this and keep this from getting that bad, then this is going to come apart. And then the eyes are going to pop out and you can't find them. So you can find yourself out on a job somewhere where you done compromised this thing, and this whole contraption here come off the end of the head of the weed eater, and then the eyes shoot out too. And then you got to find them unless you got some in the truck. Now, these are things that a lot of people don't ever think about. I got some in the truck because I have been out on a job, literally been out on a job with a boatload of weed eating to do and lose one of the eyes behind this exact thing myself. It ain't the cost of the eyes, but you can't, I mean, they don't sell them at Walmart, you know. So it's a small price to pay to make sure that you $8 or $9, $11, and if this is gone or comes off, then the eyes probably come out, and then you're going to spend, well, now you're getting into some real money, because now you're spending 25 or 30 minutes looking for it, and it could be anywhere within a 20-foot radius of wherever it came apart at. Now you're wasting labor time. Now you're really costing money. I keep these things, every time I go to the Stihl dealer for anything, I buy a 1-in-1. And when you got guys working for you, you got to make sure they don't run it like this, because they're not paying attention, believe it or not. Please believe it. This, to me, this is trash. Now, this will work in a pinch, right? Because if you put a new button on this, well, you're not going to continue to compromise it, see, because the button's going to save it from hitting the ground. See what I'm saying? And this is called a button. That's what they call it. So I know that I can throw this away, because I know I got like 3 brand new ones in my toolbox back here, and I know I got a bunch of used ones in the toolbox on the trailer. But guys working for you, they don't pay no attention to that. See, they'll just pop the button that's on there, right? And they'll string it, and then they'll stick it back on there without even paying attention to that. If you see them triangles, you finna have a problem. Well, you're wearing on the equipment more than what you need to. So that's just a small tip. Another thing that I see a lot of guys do, that if they're working for somebody like me, is they'll forget to put the spring back in. Because when you buy these right here, it does not come with a spring. So when you pop that other one out, you got to pop the spring out too. And make sure. I've seen guys come up to me wasting 20 minutes running up to me on a job. I can't get the weed eater to work right. It won't bump, because they forgot to put the spring in. See? And now you're wasting more time. See, every little thing that you know out here can save you a lot of time. Right? Now I know this is trash, and this is trash because I got a boatload of them. And I know, well, now, if you've been doing this a long time and you run the Stihl products, I know a lot of guys are going to come at me saying, dude, just run the Echo speed feed. I'm going to be honest with you. The speed feed is a great theory, the Echo speed feed, and it fits on the Stihl. I mean, it Stihl makes one too. But the Echo one is probably better than the Stihl one. My only problem with that, and y'all can call me a wimp, call me whatever you want to call me, is I don't like putting my hands on the head of the weed eater like that, where I'm just, and I tell you, when you got guys working for you, they can't figure it out. At least the guys I got working for me. There's no way that they could string one of them. Now they can string this, but most of the time the guys that work for me, they ain't really trying to learn anything. And you know, that's just the nature of it. That's the labor issues that I have. They really ain't trying to learn and progress or anything like that. They're just trying to do a job and get a check, fuck it up, and do it again. no problem with that, you know, as long as they come to work. But you got to kind of know where you're at if you're me, right? So that's just a small little tip, and if it doesn't apply to you, then, you know, just disregard it. But if you're starting out and you're thinking about going to Stihl, well, I mean, I know Echo makes good weed eaters, you know. There's not really an Echo dealer around here for me. I don't, you guys will notice that I don't really use Echo stuff at all. I don't have anything that's Echo. Well, Ray, why ain't you got Echo products, man? Why ain't you, try this Echo, this and that and this and that? I'm gonna tell you why. Because in 2008, when I started my business, I needed equipment, and I went and Echo denied me a credit, denied credit, and I didn't have bad credit then. I didn't have great credit, but I didn't have bad credit, and they denied me credit. And I turned right around and went a mile down the road to the Stihl dealer, filled out a form, and they gave me $3,500 instant. That's why I don't use Echo. It ain't that they have an inferior product, because I know that they, you know, that they do have a good product, but I don't use them. And if Stihl products were less than or crappy, well, then I might consider changing, right? But they're not. Stihl makes a good product. I don't care what anybody says. I love me some Stihl stuff. And my dealer is great. They are great, you know. So, and nothing wrong with Echo. And I guess if somebody gave me one, I would. But I'm not going to spend my money on Echo at this point in time because of that fact. I want to stay loyal to the brands that have helped me grow. And that, because when I went to go get, you know, when I finally decided that I was going to be in business, I spent all my money on a lawnmower. I didn't really, and I had a homeowner Echo weed eater, and, you know, I don't know, one of the SRM something, you know, that I got at Home Depot. It wasn't commercial, but it was good for what I was doing because I wasn't doing a lot of yards right then. I was, you know, but it finally broke. I don't remember what happened to it, but it quit working for whatever reason. I don't even know. Probably, I might have even put old fuel in it and thought it was tore up. But I went to fill out the form, and they denied me, you know, and I was like, I couldn't believe that they denied me because I didn't have any bad credit or nothing. I had always paid things. I just didn't have a lot of credit. So I stay loyal to the brands that have helped me grow. And you should too. You know, if Echo had, had approved me credit, even if it was just $1,000, you know, I think that I was, well, when I filled out the form at Echo, I don't think I asked for any specific amount. They denied me they denied me for any amount of money. And I was, I was scared because, well, I got bills coming and I didn't have no money. I just spent all this money on a lawnmower. And, you know, I thought I'm going to have to go buy a damn Troy-built weed eater because I didn't have any money. I was broke, man. I don't know, y'all look at me now with the truck and trailers and all the stuff and say, well, Ray, it ain't never been that bad. But it has. And it has. Trust me. So, if you're starting out and you get frustrated by things like this, just stay with it, man. If you like doing it, if you can handle the heat, if you can, you know, evolve and grow, or if you're just trying to make extra money, then you don't really need the big boy equipment like I got. You know, you don't. But I stay loyal to the brands that have helped me. And considering Stihl is, well, as far as I'm concerned, they're the top stick equipment, you know, manufacturer to me. And they're also, I mean, hands down, the best chainsaw manufacturer in the world to me. Now, some people might like Husqvarna better, but you're not going to get it. You're not going to get it any better than a Stihl chainsaw. My buddy Shane over there at DLT, he did a video yesterday talking about the timing of buying new equipment, and I agree 100%. Big shout out to Shane. I agree that I buy equipment before tax time. I look at my numbers, and then I remember what my accountant told me the year previous, and then I kind of go from there. So, but one thing that Shane did not mention that is a real factor here is there are a lot of people that start a lawn care business. I mean, you know, there are. And what ends up happening a lot of times is they'll start a lawn care business in April or May, right? And they'll go out and they won't be smart and they'll buy, you know, Exmark mowers like I got, or, you know, and, you know, buy trailers and trucks and, you know, anything that mama and daddy will help them buy. Because now they want to be a landscaper, right? So then, what ends up happening is they go through the summer and they either can't get enough work, or they realize, well, it's hot out here, y'all. It ain't no joke, man. It ain't for the faint of the heart, man. It's hot, dude. Super hot. And if you're not used to that, then that can run you right out of business, man. And then with the economic times like they are right now, gas prices and everything, I mean, it's at an all-time high to be in business. If you were even able to get your hands on a top commercial mower, see? So what ends up happening is they go through the summer and they're struggling, and then they get to August, September, you know, and then they realize, you know, I don't want to do this for a living. Or they realize it's harder than what us guys on YouTube make it look. And then or they realize that there's a huge drop-off when you get to the fall, where you go from making, you know, if you're just starting out, making $300 or $400 a day to making $300 or $400 a week, and having to run down work a lot more. So what ends up happening is, well, combine the heat, the frustration, the competition, and needing the money for their family for Christmas, and, you know, and to get through the winter, a lot of people will sell their stuff flat out. And that's when you can usually get a good deal, if you got the cash. Now, you got to have the cash. So that goes back to what I talk about all the time anyway. You know, you might be able to, I mean, I have bought lawnmowers before I did YouTube. I have bought lawnmowers in, you know, in September, October for, you know, really cheap, because I had the money, the cash. And then sometimes when I didn't even have a lot of work, I was buying lawnmowers, because I've always been pretty smart with my money. I would buy lawnmowers, and then I would turn around and hold on to it until the spring and sell it. I've done that quite a few times. But Shane is right. The best time to buy a mower is, well, you know, between, you know, September, middle of September, all the way to Christmas. That's the best time to buy a mower. But see, a lot of people can't afford to buy a mower then, because, well, if they're a landscaper like we are out here, they're not making any money. And they don't want to let go of big chunks of money. So then that filters out a lot of would-be buyers, because, well, they're scared to spend the money, just like I was back in the day. You know, I'd be scared to spend $4,000 or $5,000, $6,000 in November. Even though it's a good deal, I still didn't want to let the money go, because I was just starting out. But once you get semi-established, well, you can, and you're smart with your money, you can buy a lawnmower for, I don't want to say a fraction of the price, but if you got the cash, you can get a good deal. Now, the availability and everything makes it where the demand for the lawnmowers is a lot more than what they used to be, you know. So by that mere fact, the prices are a little bit higher than what they used to be. That's when you fall back to having the cash, because you're not trying to finance a mower if you buy it off of, you know, Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist. You got to have the money. And then that puts you back kind of in the driver's seat. Not wholehearted. You're not going to just take it from nobody, you know, but you are kind of in the driver's seat. So, yeah. That's the kind of thing that you can run into when you are out here and you've been doing this a long time like me. Not to mention, you have to know what the equipment's worth too. Doesn't matter what they paid for it. You know, it matters what I think it's worth. And it matters how desperate they are to sell it for cash. You know, I mean, they might even be financing it. And I bought mowers off people where it's still under finance and they're selling it. Yeah, to pay it off and get out from under it. That's a scenario that worked out for the best too, right? And it ain't taking advantage of nothing. It's business. It's seizing the moment, right? But most of the times to seize the moment, you have to prepare for that moment to come. And that's where I'm really good at. I'm good at preparing for the moment. Right. All right. Damn, dude. Hey, start right. Hey, dude, I don't want you all over the place. Start at one area and walk your way that way. Right? So you start right here. Look. Start right here. See right here? Right here. Right. Right here where that line is. Don't got the trees at all. Start with all this little green shit and then work your way toward the corner. There you go. Y'all see him. Gonna get some work out of him today. That's the only thing I got to do over here for him to do with the brush cutter. He thinks it's gonna be easy. It's a lot harder than it looks. Yeah. So the main thing, the reason why I'm here, y'all, is well, not to babysit nobody. He's gonna have to figure it all out, man. Cause I really didn't even have to. I don't really even have to do this right here. I could actually bring the Bobcat in here and do a lot of it. But I'm trying to work him so he'll have money to get his phone turned back on and everything. So yeah. So y'all see the trees up there? All the trees on the dam on the water side here, they've all been notched. So I'm gonna get the I gotta get the if I'm gonna put the drone in there, I gotta go up to there where their Wi-Fi is so I can get the code, because I'm close to an airport and you got to have a code to run the drone over here. My theory is I'd like to put the drone out over the water and let it film me pushing the trees over, right? So, and then maybe put the home point right here where it'll land when it's done, because the drone's only going to run for about 30 minutes and probably even less than that by the time I get the code in it and get it back up here. So, and see all this right here, I'll get all this with the Bobcat. See, the things that I got him cutting over there, we want to be able to see through that, right? And they number some work. He thinks it's going to be easy, but he was talking about, oh man, that ain't no problem. I got this, man. It ain't easy. But he ain't slung that thing for 10 minutes yet. So you see, these trees are notched. And so pushing them over is not going to be hard. It looks like a couple of storm come through here, and it looks like, well, he didn't notch it. Yeah, it broke going backwards. So I'm not sure exactly what we're going to do with all the trees, but probably going to line them up down there for now. And you know, right down there's a silk fence right down there, and just line them up there. We're going to have to cut them though. That's probably the biggest one right there. Well, there's a couple big ones right here. Okay, y'all, so y'all can see kind of what we done got into over here. We're going to make sure we don't get any of that saws out of the way. I got my 201T right here, dude. All right. And remember, keep in mind, Zach, I'm going to be pulling these out. So the whole bushy end of the tree is going to be all over the place. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So keep the saws out the way of that.
Yeah, out of the way of the machine too. You know, I don't want to run over nothing. If we tear one saw up, I'm losing money over here.
No, I'll put them way back over there.
You know, and I'm taking them to the bottom of the hill right here. Look.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm allowing all these trees across that. Look, I want you to see along that long wood line, laying them this way.
Yeah.
So anything that's from here to there is going to get hit. You see what I'm saying? Because the trees are going to get dragged across the dam.
So I'll put the saws further back on that
yeah,
side.
You put them. Yeah.
Side,
Yeah, you put them on this side up here somewhere. So yeah, y'all. I had the drone in the air, but I mean, it doesn't last long enough to get any footage, man. I don't see how these guys get all the good drone footage because by the time I got it set up and everything, hell, it was telling me he was ready to go home. So I'm gonna set you guys up somewhere, and we're gonna start pulling these out. Y'all see, we pulling them out slowly but surely. The Bobcat's running like a champ. You see how big that piece was I picked up, dude?
Yeah, it looked like it was squatting 300 pounds.
Man, it was huge. Okay, so what we're doing now, y'all, is we're gonna try to just come through here and pluck these up. We're gonna try to get this big one now. I don't know if we're gonna be able to get the big one out or not. Well, we're gonna have to get it out eventually, so I'm gonna put the camera on the other side, because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to line these trees up all the way down through here, y'all, on the bottom of the dam, so it doesn't really make a big pile. I'm trying to keep them in as big of pieces as I can. This one we're probably going to have to cut though, because it's pretty big. So if the camera gets knocked down, Zach's the ground guy, he'll get it. It might get knocked down. See what we go through to get footage for y'all, man? I mean, dude, come on, man.